All right, guys, what's going on? Welcome in. So we have some breaking Jets news coming out now. It's looking like the Jets are going to be interviewing general manager candidate Jon-Eric Sullivan from the Green Bay Packers. Now, we actually did a video about Sullivan, I think back in mid-November. So I'll leave that link down below in the description box for like the full biography. But this is someone who's literally spent 20 years with the Green Bay Packers, 20 years, working his way up, making his stop at every position, all the way up to vice president of player personnel. And he got that gig back in 2002. One thing about the Green Bay Packers, right? We know them to be widely considered a well-ran franchise. What does it mean, right? What is a well-ran franchise? Communication, winning football games, having an identity, having a plan moving forward, and just a collective effort, right? There's not a lot of friction between, a general manager and a coach, an owner and a front office exec. Everyone seems to be on the same page, if you will, which is really, really important if we're talking about, an NFL franchise trying to compete with 31 other teams. And the Green Bay Packers have, again, always been considered a team that has a plan, has a vision, and they go out and execute it. And at times, it's not the most exciting. At times, it's criticized by, like the national sports media. But they have a plan and they stick to it. And, we look at Sullivan, you have to imagine that bringing in someone like Sullivan, who's just worked with the Green Bay Packers, right? It's not like he's bounced around 5 different, organizations. No, just with Green Bay, we would see a similar structure put into place. And because of that, I would expect a long 6-year contract, because Green Bay, they're not about the quick fix. They're just simply not. They're not, let's trade all of our draft picks and go get the superstar players. Let's go get the guys that are, maybe disgruntled on their current teams, like a Tyreek Hill, for example. It's not about that, right? Draft, develop, and then use free agency as a tool to kind of fill in the cracks of your roster. Sullivan's also someone who's raved about his current position. He's raved about the Green Bay Packers. This is an organization that really likes to promote from within. And, because of that, I do feel like it's going to take a lot to pry Sullivan away from a team that he's literally, that's all he knows, right? Green Bay Packers football. To have a shift like that from, again, an organization that promotes from within, I think is really, I think it's going to be tough. I think it's going to be tough. He's been on record talking about his friendship / rivalry with Brian Gutekunst, the Packers' current general manager, which is always really cool. He's always talked about how Gutekunst was one step ahead of him, up, working up the totem pole. And, of course, they're working hand in hand now. But that's kind of another point here, right? Green Bay has always been regarded as having just a smart, well-educated front office. I mean, we could talk about John Dorsey being a part of the Green Bay Packers years and years ago. Ted Thompson is another one. Brian Gutekunst is one of the best general managers in football. So Sullivan, man, I think this would be a great hire. He's young, he's energetic, he's excited. I mean, you watch the interviews with Sullivan, and you could tell he just loves football. Now, the problem with Sullivan, he's not been a general manager before. Now, you can argue this point for so many different candidates. Mike Greenberg's getting a lot of buzz. Borgonzi's getting a lot of buzz. All these different guys that are, would be considered first-time general managers, you can make this argument for. Unfortunately, right? For better, for who knows? Maybe Jon-Eric Sullivan, when he steps in, he would be a top 5 general manager in football. We don't. Maybe he's a bottom 5 GM. We just don't know. He's never sat in that seat before. Is he qualified? Is he prepared? I would say yes. But until we actually see it happening, unfolding in front of us, we just simply don't know. And that's the risk you take. Do the Jets have that roll? Do they have the luxury to roll the dice at this point? Or is it, hey, the pressure's on here, we got to nail these hires? So anyway, let me know your thoughts down below in the comment section on this. Sorry, we got breaking news here. What is it? Wow, Titans are firing Ran Carthon. Damn. I was literally just about to make a video talking about how the Jets are in a great position because we're the only team that needs a general manager. It's looking like Telesco's staying, Balky's staying, Elliott Wolf is staying, Chris Greer's staying, Ballard's staying. All these different polls, Loomis, all of these GMs are sticking in place. But man, Two teams now need a general manager. It's not the end of the world, right? That was kind of the expectation that 2 teams were going to need one. But, man, we're going to see how this whole thing plays out. Anyway, let me know your thoughts. And as always, go Jets.